Hello and welcome back to Belly of the Cat God. Thank you for bearing with us. We just had some small technical difficulties. Graft, what were you up to again? Will you recap for us?
Oh, right. So I believe I was attempting to do some really flamboyant flipping in the air to try to shoot it with the slingshot, and I last time I remember I rolled a 3, and then my internet
Yes.
decided it wasn't going to cooperate anymore.
It
Well,
was very disappointed in you.
even though
Yeah, it
your
was just like, you
internet
know
might
what? You know what? We're cutting the stream right now. Your character's gonna die.
your internet might be cursed, but you do still have, if you have any omens to spend, you could try and re-roll that if you want to.
I'm actually gonna save it. I'm gonna save my omens.
All right, let it ride. You fire wide, Graft, as you fall to the ground, just sort of sending up a puff of some centuries old dust. And with that, that is your turn. If you want to move away from this massive creature, you can do so. It seems to be quite big, but you're certainly welcome to just move where you would like to.
Yes, yes. So I'm just gonna roll away. You just see me kind of tumbleweed out.
Fantastic. And Volo, you have noted up above that there is something through this opening. You haven't seen Kritar emerge from this creature yet either. It seems to be more occupied with whatever it's chewing on than you.
Hmm. This like kind of like iridescent light. It is like 30 foot above me, you said? It was
Yes.
like pretty high. Is there any stairs or any way to get to it? Or is it just like very much in the center of the ceiling? It will be pretty impossible for a cat man to get up.
Uh, it's towards the wall that you're facing, which would be kind of the north wall of this area. Those two doors that are set beneath on
Mm-hmm.
this wall. It seems like maybe they could connect up if you. The walls themselves are not just like smooth, slippery stone or anything. They are striated, almost like muscle. You might be
Mm-hmm.
able to try and claw your way up the north wall to get to an opening.
Being of uh this like forced religious like reverence now is seeing signs in everything with the hole in the ceiling now opening and all of this light is seeing that as like a command to go to that hole. Yes, yes, my lord, anything you wish. And is going to try and sprint and run, clamber, crawl up with his still very human fingernails and hands up this wall.
Okay, will you give me an agility roll? This is a bit of a tougher one. It's an agility roll of 16.
Absolutely. It's okay though, because I got a +1 agility, some cat. So this is
Nice.
an easy roll. That's a 3. I'm going to use an omen.
Very good.
And here we go, gang. We were all waiting for this moment right now. Oh shit, 17.
Yeah,
No, 19 actually, because it's not -1, it's +1. 19 gamers, let's go. That's it.
Volo,
Sick.
you get a grip on this wall and it doesn't feel like on any wall you've touched before. It's warm, but not wet and thick, and you can get your
Mm.
hands and paws into the cords of it almost. It kind of gives, giving you an ability to grab it and climb up it. I still wouldn't consider you a strong creature by any means,
Under no
but
circumstances.
there is a supernatural devotion in you that buoys you upwards as you climb up behind this long furry creature towards the
Mm.
ceiling.
Uh, so I'm up at the ceiling. Am I close enough to like leap into that like the hole?
Yes, I will say with your spending your entire turn doing that, and since you kind of noticed it last turn and then come up, you're just
Mm-hmm.
climbing up and over and through the hole, passing close enough to this thing that you can smell the stench of it. It's this thick musk uh grime to it.
Mm.
And then as you pull yourself over, you see above you a gigantic stained glass window.
Eyes go wide like Puss in Boots upon seeing this giant stained glass. What is it representing? Like, what's the image?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that on your next turn.
Okay, beautiful.
No
Perfect.
worries. Okay, that is Volo Yorgo, and it is back to this creature once again. It is trying to swallow Kratar, who has been in here for a while, so is still taking damage. A pretty hardy person, but even with that, this is a agility roll. That will not do it, which means I get to finally roll some damage for my big caterpillar.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, and it's also a DR 14. I see. Okay. 3 minus armor, 2, and test toughness. Kratar is there's a crunching sound as this creature kind of rides to the side very quickly, and then more black liquid begins to drip out of its mouth. And with a toughness roll, poor Kratar is facing the acid of this thing's stomach.
Oh no.
It was an 18.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Perfect.
It's not poisoned. Holding on. With that, it starts to kind of pull down a little bit more, like shaking side to side and creating more of a cavern in the ceiling. The space above now, the other two of you can see the light shining down and through. We are back to Turk.
All right. I see Kratar being crunched and all the drooling stuff, the liquid coming out. Turk will go, not the sacred text, and I will attack it again with my long sword.
Okay. You are able to, as it sort of swings by you, kind of catch a long scratch down it, trying to kind of cut open from the mouth where the book would be. Give me a melee.
Right.
I will expend my final omen to hit.
Okay. So you're trying to re-roll?
Okay, yes, I will re-roll.
Wait, actually, let me check omens. Yeah, omens are.
Are you serious?
Rolled the exact same. Impeccable.
Amazing.
Well then,
we love that for
Let me
you.
check. You can use an omen to re-roll, lower damage, neutralize a crit or fumble, or deal maximum damage. Yes. So that will not.
Yep.
Will not save you. So in that moment, as you try to cut through this thing with your bony arm, it just kind of scrapes off, catching in the tangles of this thing's fur, and you are reminded that there is no amount of study that can truly prepare you for the divine.
The existential threat, dread fills Thurg, and then my dingus attacks.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Sadly, no.
Dingus, you're useless.
Phenomenal.
Your pug is cowering at your feet away from this thing as it's sort of sweeping along the floor now, sending tables crashing left and right. Graft, what are you doing? Okay, once again, you've moved back further now. It doesn't seem to be focused on you. You can give me another presence test of 12. Okay, once again, over and wide as this thing is swiping back and forth. Okay, you can re-roll it.
Beautiful.
Actually, you can use an omen to subtract a 4 from it, so that means it will hit without having to re-roll. Okay, then if you want to re-roll your damage, you can do so.
Oh,
Okay.
let's go.
Ooh.
Well done. Nat 20.
That was another attack. So it actually would be 4, not 8, because you didn't actually crit. That's true. So with a d4 and it only subtracts one. Another 3 points of damage. This time you manage to catch it with that omen spent. Kind of reminded of the cat that you swallowed, the tangles of fur you've been spitting out. You aim for the end of that mouth tail and manage to ping some kind of sharp, prong, maybe a glass shard from a broken bottle into the mouth of it. And it yawns open. And you can see inside this long tunnel of dark material, dripping. It's just kind of an empty cavernous hole. There's no muscle of the throat. There's no teeth even. There's just more of these like bone protrusions. They don't seem to have the ability to move of their own accord. And you see Kritar is kind of like slammed down to the bottom of this creature's mouth as it is waving side to side. More black ichors dripping down, catching in the coat that Kritar was wearing. With a hand held out to you, the book drops from their grasp and out of the open mouth.
Grab it!
And you hear it. Help me. Okay, that's your go. Volo, you are up in this open space under the stained glass mirror.
Yeah, like looking up in like eyes as wide as they can be, like
You've got
really trying to give that cat those
big
kitten eyes.
anime cat eyes.
That's it. Yeah.
For this grotesque creature, you are looking up at a masterpiece of art. What you see is some kind of round ball in the center, striations of greens and whites and browns and reds that are kind of woven along it, almost like an artistic interpretation of some kind of globe, but if it were made of threads. And wrapped around this ball, as if playing with it, you see a massive feline creature. Its tail is tied into the end of sort of a black long string that then weaves into the tangle of this ball. It is batting at and kind of surrounding the ball. This big black furred head. You see 3 ruby eyes. Hold on 1 second.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's kind of batting at this ball. And then around this massive image, a bunch of smaller images featuring what seems to be a fountain, like a set of teeth. These are all very stylized, a growing green garden, and many more numerous rooms than you've seen. What seems to be a waterfall overflowing with this milky white liquid, a series of deep pits, as well as just multitudinous images of creatures, tails, long limbs, longer than an average cat, some kind of lion with its head split open into a mouth, a mane like a rows of muscles unfolding, as well as other humanoid creatures, ones that seem to be attacking with these long spikes, a cowering leopard, and then that leopard sitting satisfied on a pile of corpses with gore pouring from its mouth. This is a divine image of the cat god as it plays with the world. It doesn't seem to be static either. It's shifting slightly.
I gotta be honest, I'm going to apologize to my other party members, but I do think that Volo just sits and watches it. Doesn't move, is just soaking in this like majesty of art and like this new. It's this. If they didn't already have like a come to religion moment, this is the come to religion moment. Like they are in such awe of power that this creature has that they really can't tear themselves away. Even if there's other things in the room, they do just ignore it.
This is the heart of the temple here. This
Mm.
religious image has been exquisitely created. As you are looking up towards it, you notice that one image, one of these like circular images surrounding the main tableau of what seems to be sort of a red tinged room. It looks like there is an insect, like a little black insect, crawling on the image of the room that you're in.
Oh, like a in an effort to like be like get off of this masterpiece, but also with the same amount of poise as, just for a random example, a greasy, clumsy man who just got turned into a cat would do, is going to bat the thing, but with like full force of his hand, like gonna try and slap, like going
Slap
to
the
slam
insect.
his hand. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you will need to give me an agility roll of 12 since it's a
Oh, I got a 3 there. I'm gonna probably unadvisory. I'm gonna use an omen to re-roll that. I have one omen left.
okay.
I really want to kill this bug. And I do. That's a nat 20.
With a nat 20, well, roll damage and double damage for me on let's say, let's call it, you're using your hand, a
Yeah.
a d4.
Okay. Double dice or just roll the dice once and then.
Up to you.
Oh, let's go. That's a 4, so that's to be 8.
Okay. As you reach up and smack this little black caterpillar off of the glass, the stained glass that it's crawling on, it kind of falls and crumples. And then below, Graft and Turg, you two see this massive tail creature that you're fighting. It just slams to the side, like ripping through the wall and muscle and shelves and table, and then to the other side, and then crumples like it was squished. You see, like in midair, the flesh, the fur of this thing just kind of compresses down into a bloody black ball and then falls to the ground.
I just.
I didn't think I hit it that hard.
And we are out of initiative. This thing has fallen crumpled to the ground. A short sword seems to have fallen from its mouth. All that remains.
Oh my god!
You've killed them, Volo. I'm just kidding.
Thurg gasps in shock and runs forward and kneels by the book and cradles it. Just walks past where Grindar's body would be. Picked up the book.
But Volo, as you have smashed this creature off of the glass full force, you see a tiny crack has appeared on the stained glass where you hit.
Is anyone else in? Is there anything else in this room?
It's more like almost like an attic space, I would say. Like it was once the actual ceiling of this room, and the muscle and flesh has kind of grown over.
Oh, right. Because I'm not actually stood on like a floor. I'm stood on like a fleshy mound, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering what to angle this like. They're gonna keep patting it in like try to like smooth it over. Maybe like shove some like try to like pull up, scratch some fleshy mounds, and then kind of like try to stick it to make it like stick together and stay like stay this perfect image that it was before, probably doing more damage than he would ever have done if he just left it well enough alone.
There are sounds of anguish coming from above you, Graft and Turg, as this thing has fallen to the ground. And then the walls of the room that you're in begin to leak grease. Thick, oil as you smear flesh across the stained glass, uh, and a crack sound on the floor of the room as it just kind of splits and yawns open, tables sliding into it. Seems like something is happening here. Graft and Turg, what are you two doing? Are you trying to flee, escape? What's going on?
Oh yeah, if the everything is falling apart, I will grab the book and shove it into my bag and go, we must
Okay.
go. And
You
start-
Run away.
shove the book. You two sprint for one of the hallway corridors that branch off and out of this room. And as you are just desperately trying to repair the stained glass, Volo, this crack spreading across it, a tiny piece drops out and falls next to you.
Is gonna start screaming with like a primordial pain that they are the ones causing this masterpiece to shatter, and rolling around like still trying to put pieces back into the masterpiece, and like no, as everything crumbles and collapses.
The head of this figure, this cat god that is sort of playing, kicking with its feet and its paws at the tangled ball of thread that is the world. The head kind of turns within the glass. See the pieces of glass shift as if to turn the head of the figure, and looking down towards you from where that tiny crack opened, the black light beyond it that's shining through, a tiny black paw just kind of steps through the little crack, and it just bats at your face, almost playfully.
um Reacts as if he's just been hit by a truck, like flings himself to the floor. No, you come for me. No, the end is upon us. Please swallow me up.
That is what it feels like. You swing your face to the side, and it is like you've been hit by a semi. Something bats at you, and the bones in your face just shift. Like it's not like you've been bruised or hurt. It's like everything is just swung out of order, and your mouth and your teeth kind of swing to the side. Everything is distorted. You have how many hit points, Volo?
One.
Oh no.
Okay. The image of this temple shattering above you, you are toyed with by the playful wrath of a god disturbed at its temple, having been wrecked as you have done. What are your final words, Volo?
It's nothing like concise or like profound. It is a series of pleads and like it is a song that they've sung like a million times to hundreds of different kings and lords all throughout their life, whenever they've been caught doing something they shouldn't be, and this time it's just a series of begs and pleads to this cat.
The glass shatters above you, and you are rained and pelted with rainbow colors. And that is the end of Volo. But Graft and Turg, you are fleeing through one of these tunnels. The material around you goes from that red color to just dark black stone, and it's gone from a pleasant warmth to a uncomfortable warmth to a heat as you are running. There's this sound of something shattering behind, and then a thick collapse that sends you reeling, like thrown against the walls for a moment as you have to pick yourself up and keep running. Things are breaking and falling behind you with that long, drawn out screech sound that's cut off abruptly and then the tunnel you're in grows narrower and narrower as you are pulling yourselves along it and through it. I need both of you to make agility rolls for me of 12. Graph, enter. Nice.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Oh
a
my God.
17
Well
And-
done.
and a 12.
Well
Very
done.
well done. The two of you pulling yourselves through and navigating, you have to squeeze one after the other. Who's going first? Should we say Turg with a higher agility?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
fair.
Okay. Turg, pull yourself
Yep.
through the tunnel as it kind of squishes around you. You have to like push back parts of the wall, followed by Graft. The two of you, as you are crawling, are you saying anything to each other as you're running?
I would just be going, push, 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 and just starts crawling.
Keep running. Basically, is what I'm screaming. Just variations of keep running and not looking behind me.
Okay. Pulling and clawing your way through a squishy material that turns harder and harder. Turg, your head breaks through a thin crusted layer of something as you feel the skin on your hands is near searingly hot with pain from the heat. You break through this crust, blinking your eyes into the light, and you seem to have emerged through a thin, sandy layer of some kind. As you pull yourself up, you see a roiling red sea before you, lapping on the banks of an ocean of dark sand.
How far up are we?
You don't seem to be on any elevation. You're just kind of like on a beach itself with
Oh,
the
okay.
ocean lapping up onto it.
All right. Okay. Have we ever seen the ocean before?
You've seen a different ocean. If you've come to these frozen wastelands, a dark and tumultuous ocean surrounds it. This is a red ocean, a hot red ocean, and the one you knew was cold, briny, stormy.
All right. And I would just go, we've reached the end. Almost there. And then I will shove my way out of this hole and onto the beach.
And I reach through and I'm just like, don't leave me behind. And I'm trying to push me.
You see Dirk hesitate for 1 second, then they'll reach in to help you and pull you out.
You pull yourselves up onto the beach. This sort of almost like a deep orange color, like a rusty orange color of sand with the red ocean spread before you. The smell is overpowering. It's that same must, but acidic, a thick stench like rotting fish on the beach here, and the warmth is coming off of the ocean in waves. This material, you're not sure it is water because it's viscous, and kind of slimy as it like washes in and out onto the sand. But the two of you are able to catch your breath for a moment, having left your other two companions behind. Breathing, you note, after catching your breath, that it seems like other things have washed up onto the shore of this beach.
Oh.
More skeletons.
I'm gonna look around and then I'll go, I do not believe we are out yet.
No, where are we? I don't remember. I don't remember a desert, or this. And I gesture is like, blood ocean maybe.
The sky above you is misted in these like light pink clouds, but I think once again both of you can give me another presence roll. This time it's just an 8.
Okay. No.
Oh.
I have a +2 as well.
Squinting up, Graft, you think that there is something in the distance, like beyond the clouds, maybe of that same kind of pink material. It's almost like you are in a massive space. You just can't really see the ceiling of it.
Interesting. Is there any other like landmarks? Is it just do I just see like sand and ocean? Is that the only thing I see?
Sand, ocean, and skeletons.
And
Actually,
skeletons.
since with passing that presence, you also note the sand that you're on isn't very stable. It's like there might be more of these passages or something underneath it, and it seems to be made of sand is normally made of broken up bits of like rock and shell, right? The skeletons are the same texture and color of the beach. Like maybe this is just some kind of lodged debris being broken down on the edge of the ocean here. It also seems like the waves themselves are not really waves, but they're more kind of swirling up onto the beach, as if in the distance there's some kind of massive circular whirlpool force in the ocean that is causing these waves.
I think
I'm
you're
going.
right, my friend. I don't think we're out yet. Go check the book. Check the book.
Yes, I will pull it out and flip it open.
You flip open to the end of the book that you had seen. You see, you have to skip past an image, a grotesque image of Volo and Kritar as they have ended, and yourselves
Ah,
climbing through these these rooms and these ruins. And then the text below, an illustration of you two on this beach, reads the belly of the cat god.
Oh boy.
An ocean of divine stomach acid that you have found yourselves in. Do you keep flipping to the next pages after this?
Yeah, you can see for yet again, Thurg is stricken by existential dread. And then, with a trembling root hand, they flip towards the next page.
Okay. Well, with our story nearly drawing to an end, I'm going to ask each of you to describe what end you see in the pages for your two characters.
dope.
Which means that you notice as you are turning the pages that it seems like there are a number of possible ends that it depicts. In some, you swim into the ocean. In some, you melt and decay here on the beach. In others, you find and pull your way through multiple tunnels. In some, even you manage to escape through a tiny leftover hole in this temple, pulling your way back out to the wastes. Which one do you select? Which ending appeals to you the most as you are looking through this book? Starting with Nick.
All right. I will say that in the weight of everything that Thurg has seen, they would like not necessarily to the same religious fervor that Volo had, but for Thurg is more of a scientific fervor. They are now inside the stomach of what is potentially a god. And with this book in hand, they are going to sort of like they don't even think about escaping anymore. What's consumed them now is they must study. This is the secret that they're looking for. They must investigate. They must study. They must dissect, and they must discover. And I will just say that they'll just journey and through tunnels and like just trying to take in as much as possible and are never seen again.
Fantastic. As you are uncovering the holy rites of the ending of days as the cat bog plays with its food before it eats it, bringing about the apocalypse, you will study it. And Graft, what ending do you see within the pages?
Graft first sees a rather pathetic attempt at trying to poison the bile. just throwing little vials into the sea, hoping something works. And it's like maybe if I feed it enough, it will vomit us back out. And seeing that absolutely nothing's working, I think kind of resigns themselves to sort of like following along in Turk's shadow, sort of.
Mm.
Not necessarily helping out, but is very curious to see what's going on. But I think with the graft being the type of creature they are, they're content to just kind of slowly just kind of go into what appears to be earth, covering themselves in the bone, knowing that if they die, well, funguses don't really die, do they?
You
And return
spread
to the
like
earth.
a disease within the bowels of the cat god. And whatever fungus infection you have planted within it, perhaps you change the way that this divine being exists in the days before it takes the world into its mouth and eats and eats and eats. With our two final priests of the cat god upon their pilgrimage through its bowels, we finish our story here for
Ah.
the evening.
Yeah.
Thank you
What
so
joy.
much for joining me, scum, as you are called in Morkborg. But you are not scum to me. You have been a delightful group of players, and I feel very lucky to have shared this story with you. Thanks again to TTRPG for having and hosting us, and for my first opportunity to be a storyteller here on this channel. I feel very lucky to have gotten to have told such a fun, morbid, grotesque one. Pooja isn't here once again, but please go check out at Pooja on Twitter. There's also information in Pooja's bio about the cool stuff that she's doing. Go show her some love. She's fantastic. And I'm gonna go around once again, and we'll say what we are, who we are, what we're doing, and sign off. Starting once again with Matt.
Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. What joy being a gross, horrible cat man. It was so, it's such a wonderful time here. My name is Matt, Captain Krail on all things. You can find me primarily on The Adamless, which is a sci-fi kind of opera that I GM. It's using the Starfinder system. There is an actual play, which is on our YouTube channel and also on Mo O'Brien's Twitch. And there's also podcasted episodes where we take the recording and then we chop it all up and we add in music and pregnant pauses and we add in sound effects and all that jazz. At the minute is a really good time to join in. We are currently 20 episodes in. However, we're taking a brief break as we do a prequel series with a whole new cast. It is run by Soup Dillon, who is one of the primary cast members of the Adamless, but it's also with Connie Chang, Gabe James, Kappa Chris, Burrito, and myself playing. Yes, and it is a prequel in the way that it is far, far, far in the past of the universe. It's a place that we've seen. So if you wanted to jump in, listen to that prequel, and then if you're like, hey, this fucking rules, which it does, it's very, very good, then you can listen to the show. Anyway, that is me done.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt. And
It's an honor.
Nick.
All right. Hello there. I'm Nick, and also a pleasure to be on this game. Really enjoying this system because I don't have any experience with Morkborg, and this is a top-notch first experience.
Absolutely.
And you can find me on Twitter and Twitch as NixNat1, the number 1, where I occasionally post stuff on Twitter and where I also occasionally stream sometimes video games, sometimes TTRPG games that I run for a server in Malaysia called Nightshade Tavern, where we basically try to make D&D as accessible to new players as possible because it is still a very small community here and we're trying to, grow it
That's
by
awesome.
infusing new
Yeah.
blood. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes I stream our games and whenever I stream, feel free to join. Woo! And that's it.
Thank you so much. And of course, our amazing producer.
Hello, everyone. I am Amanda. You can find me most everywhere at Panda Cabra. Yeah, I am the technical producer, and sometimes the technology doesn't work in my favor, but I try to make do as much as possible, and I swear that I actually do know what I'm doing. Yeah, so you feel free to hit me up if you would like me to appear on any of your podcasts or your games, or if you just want to like just hang out, like just say hi. Yeah, feel free to join us and feel free to join our Discord at TTRPG. I believe there is a Discord link in the chat right now. Feel free to
So
check that out.
perfect.
And we're going to wrap it up with Alex.
Yes, thank you so much. Once again, we have been playing Morkborg. Morkborg is an incredible game. It's published, I believe, by Free League Press, but you can go check it out at morkborg.com, morkborg.com. It's fantastic and amazing. Feel free to shout out TTRPG, show us some love. It's been so amazing appearing on this channel, and I felt very, very lucky to have done so. I have been Alex. Once again, you can find me on Twitter at Alder_Mancy, ALDER_MANCY. I do a bunch of streaming, TTRPGs. I do art stuff. I do writing stuff. And I do want to give a big shout out to the Kickstarter that I've currently been working on, which is the Alice is Missing expansion. It's over on Kickstarter right now. It's bit.ly/AIM Silent Falls. But you can also see me tomorrow morning on twitch.tv/Total Party Kiss, where I play with Pooja in a dark queer horror D&D game called Strange Hungers, probably around 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Yeah, and you can also now find me on Happy Jacks RPG, where I'm playing a live in studio game of a PBTA pack called Demigods, and that is Happy Jacks RPG on socials on Sunday evening. That's me. Once again,
Beautiful.
we've been so excited to have had such a good game, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.